This is the Finesse Media Podcast.
Ramona Matthews is a native of Fordyce, Arkansas, where she recently opened a family-owned restaurant, Mama Joe's Kitchen and Grill. She is a 2021-2022 Tech Plus Arkansas alumni who teaches family and consumer sciences, lifespan development, and dynamics of human relationships for grades 9 through 12. Ramona also serves as the advisor for Student Council, Family and Career Community Leaders of America, and as the site coordinator for Freedom School with the Children's Defense Funds. She received a BS in Human Development and Family Studies from the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff and a Master's in Family and Consumer Sciences from Alabama A&M University, and is currently a doctoral student at the University of Memphis, pursuing a degree in Educational Leadership and Policy Services. She was initiated into Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated in spring of 2011 and into Sigma Alpha Iota International Music Fraternity for Women Incorporated in fall of 2021. She is passionate about breaking the stigma of mental health while promoting self-care in underserved communities. Welcome to the podcast for the first time, my soror, your girl, we love her best, the Finesse of the evening, Ramona Matthews.
She said, I'm ready. She said, I'm ready, and I'm excited to talk with you on this episode. Welcome back. Another episode of the Finesse Media Podcast, Season 5. I'm your host, Ken of Finesse Media, and again, bringing you someone brand new each and every week. And this week, joined like every week before, is another finesser, somebody that I say has been finessing the game for a long motherfucking time. So listen, hold your seat tight. Make sure you grab your snacks, and also make sure you grab a pen pad, because she's a published author. She's an educator. She's my sorority sister by way of the Beta chapter of Zeta Phi Beta. Make some noise. Joining me for the first time on this episode, the Finesse Media Podcast, Season 5. Make some noise for my soror, Ramona Matthews, published author. What's up, girl?
Hey, how you doing? Thank you. Listen, the way you introduced me, I thought I was on my way to the big lights. Thank you for that.
Listen, you in the lights. You see, I got the lights and the whole bit going on in my background.
Yes.
So listen, you're bringing that light, you're bringing that energy, man, and you're fresh off from homecoming, which I'm saddened by. So I'm still sure you got a lot of energy coming from homecoming at UAPB. She's an alumni of the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. So not just my soror, my alumni sister. Y'all know I rep the Golden Lions every episode in the background. So sis, what's up, man? I ain't seen you in a while.
Listen, I have a lot going on. Everything's been on the up and up. I'm just trying to figure out new ways to create new opportunities to give back to our people, the people that who need us, the people that need to be served. So hey, I'm here. Homecoming was amazing.
Yeah, let's talk about that, because I'm sad. And again, as I said, I didn't make it this year to homecoming, but you're still fresh off of the homecoming trip and all the hoopla. How was it? I mean, did you see familiar faces? What was the experience like?
So many. And let me tell you, from the day that it popped off, the step show, it was so, because I know you don't play when it comes down to that step, and you would have really enjoyed it.
Shout out to SWAT.
Yes, the energy was amazing. The Zetas, Beta, they did win Best Sorority. So the energy was mad crazy. The vibes was nice. It's nothing but a fashion show. So everybody was popping out in their nice outfits. Everybody had their cups in their hands. It was a good time. It was a good time.
I'm sitting back here in Dallas, Texas, watching the videos and seeing the photos, seeing you. I'm showing photos now of the good time that you had down there. But I'm telling you, I certainly missed it, but I'm not going to miss it next year. I think I'll certainly have my face in the place. I missed the yard, dear mother. Somebody posted that who was there, one of our alumni sisters, and she said, man, homecoming was a good time, hashtag dear mother or something. And so somebody had said on her status, hey, is your mom okay? And so she had to explain to him, hashtag dear mother. So we say at the yard, that's to us. Yeah, I missed your mother. So I'm definitely going to show mama some love in 2023 for sure, and pop it up on campus. And if the administration is watching this, I know that you always are, hit me up. I certainly wouldn't mind hosting some down there too. Let me get down there. Yeah.
You would be awesome too, because they're doing a lot of great things in the city. Like They are uplifting Main Street. The vibes are nice. They had all the food trucks out.
Yeah.
It's something that we're thriving, and I love to be there. It was amazing.
I saw that you had some Aishas. I was hella mad.
Yeah, I did. It was amazing. That was my first stop.
Yeah, Aisha is a favorite chicken joint in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. For those who don't know, if you're from where I'm from, y'all know I'm from Chicago. It's our Hurl's Chicken of Pine Bluff, or maybe even the whole state of Arkansas. It is one of those fine jewels, and it's a good spot. But when you talk about the energy that you have and that you still have from homecoming, let's talk about that Virgo energy, because it's still Virgo. I know it's Libra season, but Virgo season, you do it big, Ramona. I mean, just like a Virgo. You do it big for your birthday this year. I mean, well, all the time. This year, I'll talk about what you did. We'll get to that. But last year, you came out of a box. I'm showing that photo. You was like a human doll. This is what I'm talking about, Virgo energy. Tell me about that idea. What made you even come up with this whole idea and just the whole concept of being, because you are fabulous, you are fine, Asura, but you came out this box as a human doll. What the hell?
Well, I have really become in touch with my Blackness and appreciating everything about being Black. So I just said I want to be a Black Barbie. I wanted to be an African Barbie. I wanted to come out of this box and just embrace my Blackness. So that's where the thought came from. You know, I had an opportunity to find the perfect garment. I actually had COVID. I had COVID during the time of planning.
Wow.
I was a week before that photo shoot, I had COVID, but I was like, no, I still have to get this done. So while I was in the house, I found somebody who could actually build the box. He delivered it, just set it outside, and it kind of just all came together. But the idea came from me getting in touch with embracing my Blackness and me saying, you know what? I want to be a Black Barbie. And I went and I looked up like the first African-American Barbie, and I saw the Ghanaian Barbie, and I'm like, yeah, I want to do something like that. So that's kind of where the idea come from.
Hey, you did it, sis. I go, yo. And you kind of gave us a tease, if I can remember correctly, because this wasn't this year, but I thought you gave us a tease of kind of what you're going to be doing for your birthday, and then you revealed it all. I mean, people who was there, I'm sure they was amazed, but what I saw from the videos was you coming out, you sitting there, people was just really showering you with love and gifts. Yo, that was dope.
Yeah, that's it was 30, it was a milestone, and I wanted those people around me that mattered most to share that moment. And, I know we're going to get there later. As I reflect, I wanted 30 to be about life, because I shared at the photo shoot how at one point in time, because I wasn't surrounded around anybody older that seemed to be enjoying life. So I used to say, well, if I live to be 32, I would be just fine. And now I'm seeing that life is just beginning. And so I really wanted to embrace and love on that and love on others and be loved on for 30. And so that's kind of where all of that energy and excitement came from, because I'm at a place where I'm like, oh yeah, life is great. It's just getting started.
Yeah, that's what's up, sis. And that's the authentic self that you have been since I've known you, just being true to yourself and owning your own self. And as you said that you wanted to give back and love, you've done that with this new project, with the new book. Jasmine Austin and Brianna Robinson, those are your two good friends, man. And you dedicated this new book that you published, Coco and Hazel Vitilago Superstars, which is amazing because my viewers know I got kids and I'm inundated with books. I got kid books and activity books galore because my sons are 2, 4, and 6. So this is certainly something I'm going to be ordering, and certainly before this episode is done, we want to let people know how to get it. But you dedicated this book to your friends, and that's dope.
Yes. So the book originally came to my mind with Jasmine. Me and her pledged together for SAI. So we met on the yard at Dear Mother, and we pledged together fall 2011. And
that's what's up.
She had an amazing spirit. Well, shortly after, her arm began to develop the vitiligo, and she never addressed it. We never talked about it. but she was still everybody's strong friend. She was still everybody's go-to. She was still helping people resolve all their issues. However, we could see that she was having changes, and she was just going about them like it was nothing. And so as I got older, or a few years later, I'm like, wow, you know, she helped so many others, and she was trampling her own self-confidence and her own obstacles and overcoming so much. And so I knew I wanted to write a book about her. And at first I kind of thought, you know, it was going to be like when she, you know, the more she turned, the more superpower she going to get, and that was going to represent her kindness. However, then my best friend, my god sister, she ended up developing it in recent months. And I said, well, I'm going to write and dedicate this book to both of them, my forever friend and my strong friend, because they are empowering to so many, because they're not letting their vitiligo define them. They are still spreading love. They're still being kind. They're still being confident. And I just wanted to capture that in Coco and Hazel's vitiligo superpowers.
That's what's up. Talk to our viewers about those characters, Coco and Hazel, because I am infatuated about by the names. I think it is. I don't know if you played with the names with the vitiligo. That's a tongue twister. Forgive me, but the Coco and Hazel, because I mean, when you think Coco, that's like brown. You think Hazel. So I don't know if you kind of use those names in relation to, you know, that condition. But talk to our viewers about the characters and even about the book.
Absolutely. As you said, vitiligo is a tongue twister. And so when Coco first learned the word, she struggles over. She's like, vitiligo, you know, because it is a word that you have to practice to obtain saying it correctly.
Yeah.
And I absolutely played with the names. Coco was to represent her, you know, her dark, rich chocolate skin. And so she begins to kind of just ask her grandma, like, how did she get that name? And, you know, it's in a book, but her and her grandmother, they do drink hot cocoa. So, you know, they drink hot cocoa every day. You know, her grandma lets her know about her brown cocoa, her how rich it is. And so she begins to ask her grandmother, like, well, I'm white too. And so that's what the grandmother tells her. Yes, baby, but even white cocoa butter comes from a brown cocoa bean. So the book is like packed with a lot of like life little lessons. Yes. And so chocolates is like my highlight in here, because that's how they actually unlock their superpowers. When they look in the mirror and they're reminded that they're chocolate in all the right places. So that's how they actually tap into their superpowers.
That's super dope. That's super dope. Emphasis on super. What's your superpower?
What's my superpower? Yeah. Oh my goodness. I'm very passionate. I'm very passionate about mental health. And I believe that is a superpower because it's rare as well as it's needed in rural Black communities. It's something that we are kind of afraid to talk about. We are afraid to deal with or address. And I think my superpower is letting people know it's okay. Let's talk about it. You said let's figure out some solution. Let's talk about the issues. Let's not run from them. So I would definitely say one of my superpowers is just being passionate about mental health. I would say a superpower of mine is just serving others and
teaching too, because we certainly want to let people know that you're not just a published author, a sister, you know, a sorority girl, but listen, you are a teacher too. So let the people know that you are teaching which level of education.
I teach grades 9 through 12, all of them. At the school, I'm over the student council. I'm over Family Career Community Leaders of America, because I teach family and consumer science. So I'm teaching students how to resolve their conflicts. I'm teaching them life skills. I'm teaching them how to refrain from being in abusive relationships. I'm teaching them about child growth. So I enjoy being able to teach them about lessons.
Real life lessons, things that you can take beyond the classroom, because listen, I still have not figured out the X plus Y equals whatever. I have not used that method or formula at all. You know what I mean? The square root of nothing means absolutely nothing to me. So it's just amazing. You know what I mean? You spend so much time in classrooms trying to retain information that you never use, but those things that you're teaching, those ninth and critical. I mean, you're in 9th grade, 10th grade. I can still remember those teachers even, and these words of encouragement that still apply today? Because at 9 and 10, I mean, well, in those grades of sophomore and high school, you know, during that time, you're getting the best advice, doing the best time, because you're transitioning, you're trying to figure out who you are.
Absolutely, because they are at that stage where it's identity versus role confusion. I know I'm not a little kid, but I'm not grown either.
Yeah.
And so it is very important. And it's always warms my heart where the students, they see me or they write me and they tell me, wow, I learned so much. Thank you for teaching me this. Even my birthday this year, I had a student that graduated 4 years ago come up 3 days later just to bring me a gift. So it definitely, and I actually connect with the ones who are used to not connecting with their teachers. Mm-hmm. And so that's what really makes it good, because I see myself in them. Yeah. I lacked connection with my educators when I was a student. So,
and you also, I mean, I don't understand how you keep it all together, because you're so busy. I was perusing through your page, and I know you got to get up out of here, but I was perusing through your page and I saw Mona Joe's. Are you into cooking too?
Well, nowhere near as good as my mom. However, I did just open up a restaurant in partnership with my brother. And it's something I envisioned years ago. You know, I was like, you know what? And I asked her, I said, if you could have your own restaurant, would you want it? And she said, I would. And, you know, the idea kind of stemmed from my brother, but this was a name that I've been known because my father's name is Joe. And so my father.
I was going to ask you where the name came from.
Well, yes, my middle name is Javon, named after him is Joe. So I kind of just put Mona Joe. And so that kind of where it come from. And when I say the people are loving it, some other favorites would be like barbecue nachos, that
I gotta get down now.
Fish, and fried fish, and then soul food Sundays is always a hit. So yes,
and for people that's watching and that may be closer than I am, but I'm on my way, let people know where this location is at, because they need to come.
Yes, so it's in Fordyce, Arkansas, 700 North Edgar. Fordyce, Arkansas, 71742 is right there on the corner. We'll have those beautiful red umbrellas, and we will be there to serve you.
Now, I'm looking at the photos. I'm like, damn, this looks good. I'm like, I got to ask about this. Is she into this food thing? Because I'm trying to be nosy, but I'm like, I see she's involved. Is this her company? Is she's, you know, a part of just a support team? But this is your mom.
Yes. So it's me and my brothers, and in conjunction with our mother and family affairs, what we actually say, because it's a lot of our family helping us do this together. But all of those good recipes belong to my mom.
Mona Joe's. Oh, I'm coming. Yes. Y'all better have me a plate ready, because I'm coming. Yes. I'm coming. Arkansas is always my second home. It is always my second home for sure. So I got to get down there. Before I get you up out of here, I was perusing through your Facebook is what I'm doing with my guests, because I'm just looking through, trying to get information on this whole situation, because y'all are busy. But I was looking at a photo, and what I'm doing is pulling that photo up, and I would just want you to tell me about the photo that I found. Tell me about
it. So that's me getting my master's degree at Alabama A&M University. What made me choose Alabama A&M is they have this partnership with the HBCUs. And as you know, Dear Mother is the HBCU. And because I went to Dear Mother, Alabama said, we'll give you in-state tuition. Wow. And so that's what they do. If you went to an HBCU, then you get that in-state. And so that's what kind of opened my eyes to Alabama A&M. And it was amazing. The culture was still amazing. Everything about it opened up the doors to where I am today. That's where I got my master's in family and consumer science, which is what I teach now. But I'm currently working on my doctorate at the University of Memphis. So I'm in education leadership. And honestly, I didn't even think I was going to be a teacher at one point.
I saw an article where you put out, you were like, I was against the whole education system, you know, and we had time. This is a part 2. You got to come back. But there was an article that came out maybe a year or so ago, and you were speaking on the panel, and I'm like, whoa, because your caption said it. I didn't know it. You were like, I wasn't the student, you know, the A student. You wasn't this girl, but now you're the teacher in front of the class.
Yeah, I think representation matters. And so I absolutely, once upon a time, I just was trying to get through. But now there's so many others who are just trying to get through who I know could be better. And if we can touch them a lot sooner, Dear Mother gave that to me.
Yeah.
You know, but how can I help others get to Dear Mother or somewhere similar to Dear Mother? And so absolutely, that was just my one of my stepping blocks to get to the next level. Alabama A&M it was amazing. The hill is
Shout
what
out,
we
no,
call it.
I was gonna say shout out to the Bulldogs, Huntsville, Alabama, man. No, shout out to the Sigmas down there too, because they put off, and I think I met someone recently, maybe in the last 6 months, who said that they are still coming off about 20 brothers a semester. And also a fun fact: one of the brothers from Alabama A&M is the one who branded me on my arm. He was down in Pine Bluff, and Brother Sylvester, can't think of his last name, but Brother Sylvester is an alumni and a Sigma from Alabama A&M. So there's always love, but there's always love for every HBCU. Each and every week on the podcast, I highlight a new HBCU. So it was, of course, our university a couple of weeks back, and this week there's a new HBCU that I'm spotlighting. But before you get up out of here, and the last person to spotlight is the Finesse. So Ramona, every time a Finesse comes on this podcast, which is you're invited, because you're someone that I say that's finessing the motherfucking game. Excuse me, kids. But I would tell you, you are definitely someone who's finessing the game. So thank you so much for joining me tonight on this episode and joining me on this season. But Ramona, who's that person for you that you say that's finessing the game?
Someone that I would say is finessing the game. I would say at this age, my mother is finessing the game. I am a product of her, and I believe me tapping into my abilities is encouraging her to keep pushing. She's at a place now where she sees her product and she sees me doing well, and there's something to be proud of. And because of that, it's encouraging her to try new things, to step out on faith, learn new things, take tests, learn new technology. And so she is really, really finessing the game. She was so excited to share with me that, you know, doors are opening for her to be a caterer. And so she's a strong grandmother. She's a loving wife. She's an awesome mom. You know, she is a great exemplar of what I pray to be in a strong Black mother. You're
definitely doing it. I'm sure she is certainly proud of you, as certainly I am, and going to be continuing to support you and to champion you on. But isn't that amazing, though? As you say, your mom is the person that's finessing the game, but that's because of what you're doing and what we said offline, that iron sharpening iron, you know, and what she's doing and what she's catching on to you. And that it really is. It's contagious. That's why you got to watch the company that you keep, because those things can rub off on you, you know, those good or bad things from those people. So it's so amazing to hear that you said mom, which is someone that typically you look up to, but mom is looking up to you, not looking down or looking back. She's looking right next to her daughter, and Mama Joe's is cooking.
Yes.
Oh, sheesh.
Yes. And listen, I know one day that Mama Secret Sauce is going to end up on one of y'all shelves. And I don't just say it because it's my mama. I say it because it's really good.
Well, tell mom I can cash out for a Zelle her. She want to send me something through the mail. I want to taste it. If I can't get down there immediately, can y'all send me something? Can y'all UPS, FedEx?
We can get you something now.
So, Matthews, Ramona, let people know how they can keep up with you and follow you, but ultimately how they can support the book, Coco and Hazel Villago Superstars. That's a tongue twister. How dare you do that to us? But how they can support you and how they can get the book. Let people know.
Yes. So you can purchase Coco and Hazel's Vitiligo Superpowers on Amazon. You can type in the name, or you can type in my name, which is Romana, Romana, Matthews with 1 T, Mathews, and it will pop up. And you can also follow me the same on Facebook.
That's what's up. And you've been watching and listening to another episode of the Finesse Media Podcast. I'm your host, Ken Finesse Media, and I'll see you next week with something brand new. Peace. Thanks, Sora. You got to come back.
Thank you for having me.
You got to come back.
I would love to.
Peace. Have a good night.
You too.
This has been another edition of the Finesse Media Podcast. Join us again next week for the latest news from HBCUs. Special guest